I swear I didn't plan this out today. I just happened to be wearing this shirt. Was working on my 12 scale car, decided to actually work on my truck, and I was like, well, let's just make a video about it. I'm Chad. This is the Dorky M40 RC channel. Today we are going to talk about my 2025 Ovalwerks Resurgent 1/10 pan car truck. A lot of words there. Don't worry. First out, big shout out to all of my channel subscribers, members. Appreciate all of you guys. You can support what we do here on the channel by joining with the link below or clicking that join button. So let's talk about this truck. Now, it's kind of unfair to do a review type of video when all I have ever ran is Ovalwerks products. I started last year with a used 2023 Octane, ran that pretty much up until the past couple months, decided I wanted to take my Oval program to the next level and converted it over to the 2025 Resurgence kit, which is a big thing about the Ovalwerks people and program. And that's one of the big things I want to highlight on. So they sell the Resurgence in a lot of different kits. You can buy 12 scale, 10 scale. You can buy an update kit to update one of your older cars. You can also buy rubber tire variations. You can buy car variations, all kinds of different things. You can actually convert if you buy an old type of car from a different manufacturer. You can buy one of the conversion kits, which will convert you everything over to their newest platform. Now, don't get sticker shock about the prices that are on these kind of cars. I mean, I paid $400 for my B7 buggy, and Lord knows how much I have into that thing right now. The great thing about oval racing is that the cost of entry is there, like any other RC type of stuff. But really, it just comes down to maintaining your vehicle, having good batteries, and of course, tires are a big thing as well, like they are in any racing category. Now, if we take a look at my specific car here, it's got a few different things on it, and Ovalwerks controls their supply chains for about as much things as they can. So, for example, I've got a few different non-Ovalwerks products on here that a lot of the people still use in race. I have a Tsunami front end, but of course Ovalwerks makes their own front end. I'm using KSG side shocks, which Ovalwerks does sell and produce the IRS shocks, and I have a converted IRS shock right here. But Ovalwerks, of course, has just finished all of their revitalization and produce their own highly performing center shock that I have ready to go in the case if I ever need to use it. And that's the great thing about the company. I've met Bill and team a few times at a couple different races, and they always have things that you need. And a lot of this oval stuff is kind of only supported certain times of the year. It seems it's kind of like some of it's bespoke type of stuff. Some stuff is one-offs that only the team members can get a hold of, but anything generally that an Ovalwerks driver has, you can go onto their website and order it. Or if they don't make it, they're actually always trying to find ways to produce things to run their own program, because this is a business that they're operating off of. They're not just doing this as a hobby or for fun. So that helps you and I racer out, because I race my trucks all year long. I just don't race at snowbirds or these other big oval events for all of the glory and then just kind of give it up for the year. Now I club race. I go to some of the bigger races around here in Northeast Ohio and have a great time. We've got a pretty decent oval following around here. I would do oval more often than just my weekly club race if I could, but they're long days, they're long events, so I understand why it's kind of focused in that like winter time period, and it's not like every other week, because it would be super expensive, because unfortunately newer tires are always faster. One runs sometime, but you know where I'm going. So when it comes to talking about the actual chassis and how like I can't review it, again, I give you some reasons why you would pretty much want to buy an Ovalwerks product because, again, they're always innovating. They're always working on keeping their stuff in stock. They support everybody that's out there. And if you want to take a look at this video here, you can see just how well this thing could take a hit.
Watch 1 and 2. Watch 1 and 2. Watch commercial.
Oh, shit. Or 3. So there's a lot of different options that I showed you as far as how you can actually get into this truck. Now, my truck is specifically set up for what they are calling, we'll call it 25.5 foam tire truck, because I really am not going to call it sportsman anymore, because I want to race against some of the best competition. I think when it kind of started out, it was like just kind of some beginners and people who didn't want to take it as serious, but it has turned into a highly competitive class. People that used to race some of the higher end stuff, maybe they don't have the reflexes or the speed or just a willingness to kind of like work with all of that stuff anymore. So they've kind of dropped down to like the 25.5 type of class. Some people run both classes, which is fine. Again, I'm always down for racing against the best drivers. This is my main class, of course, when we go to like the bigger oval races, and then we throw the low-C NASCAR out there for all of the fun. So I told you this is a foam tire class. We run a 25.5 just stock motor. You typically can run the older just stock ESCs, or right now just the Hobby Wing 1S variant of motor. Now, there might be some changes to that in the future. We'll see with how the naming and everything else goes on this class and what the future holds. I know they're talking about changing, the class to like maybe using car bodies or whatever. And I could tell I got a loose body post. I haven't actually checked out my truck since that crazy main that we were in, where we started in 4th, we were in 1st, then we were in last, and we finished in 3rd. So all in all, those little bull ring freaking races can really be challenging, but they can be a hell of a lot of fun. Now, we've went over some setup and stuff like that on this car before. I can honestly tell you that there has not been any change that I have made to this car that has resulted in worse performance. So my driving has continued to get better. I still need to improve. I'm still learning a lot of things about the tires. I've learned, of course, gearing and all of that kind of stuff, and just how all of this stuff kind of works. Like some of the older racers, guys that have been doing this for a while, have taught me a lot of the ropes. This car comes, it's ready to go. It weighs perfectly right at the minimum weight where it should be. We're running awesome batteries in here. These SMC batteries are pretty much the hotness, and they're hard to get right now, but they have been keeping the whole oval people going on for sure. The entire design of the Resurgent 2025 has got a little bit of a lower center of gravity. It's got a one-piece pod back here, so you don't have individual plates on your rear pod, and it's also got a pod, I guess you could call it axle. It's all one piece, and your axle goes through everything. So if you do take some hits, you're not going to like tweak and bend your pod. Typically, the kit is supplied with a fiberglass T-plate. I have a steel T-plate on here. A little bit safer to use. Fiberglass can start to crack on you. Some people say it's a little bit more responsive. They can feel it. I cannot. So that's just where we're at. The way that these T-plate kind of things go is it's a little bit different compared to like some of your older 12 scale designs now, because a lot of the 12 scale cars are a lot different. But basically what happens is you have your rear pod here and then your main chassis plate. And instead of kind of having like your trailer hitch, ball and receiver type of setup like a lot of the older type of cars would have, this uses the T-plate, which connects to the chassis and to the pod, and then everything is balanced, as you can see, with the center shock and the side shocks. The parts quality, the carbon quality on everything is just amazing. Now, this thing does come with mostly aluminum screws, and it uses regular standard hardware, so you always want to be careful when you are assembling and and tightening things up. You're going to always want to be checking screws for tightness and all that stuff. It's definitely a great idea to have like extra screws. They sell screw kits for the cars and have those laying around. Anytime that I get a little inkling of a screw that is going bad, I just get it out and throw it in the trash and replace it with another one, because the last thing you want to do is to try to get out a stripped aluminum screw. So the Resurgent 2025 also kind of has this little like Nerf bar here in the front type of deal to kind of protect you against body tucks. You know, I just love it. I don't really know what else to say. Everything just goes together really easily. You get everything that you need as far as like to get the car going in the kit. The only thing that I would recommend that you do is make sure that you get the appropriate type of servo size adapter for the servo that you want to use. You can see that I'm using a 12 scale Sanwa SXR on mine. You also maybe want to get some extra side springs. I'm running anywhere between like 15 and 10, 14, 11 split, running anywhere between a 6 and a 10-pound spring. Tried with all kinds of different center springs here. These springs are different than your side springs. Here, we've got the Tsunami front end on here. Underneath there, you might be able to see that I've got a set of the Ovalwerks carbon fiber ride height spacers that will slide in underneath there. And then when it comes to when you buy your kit or whatever, the new kit actually has a nice little cutout here, so you can position your tungsten and your brass weights so you can get everything weighted down appropriately to actually meet weight and all that kind of good stuff. You've got the differences with the different kind of T-plates, as I mentioned before. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. I mean, the car, the company, the quality, the availability of parts, I mean, they all kind of just like sell it for themselves. And, you know, Bill's a pretty cool dude. I was joking with him about how I used to give his brother, Dustin, money for drag racing stuff, and now I'm giving all my money to Bill, Dustin Malacote, Bill Malacote, GFRP, Ovalwerks. So that's kind of where we're at. We've got the big firecracker race coming up. We'll be doing some club racing at Mansfield RC and probably back up at Louisville RC around the Akron Canton area, because that little track is just pretty crazy. It's fun and exciting racing. You can see anything can happen. And luckily my car came out of there unscathed. I think it's going to need a new front end alignment, so we'll get that front end aligned on there. But as far as everything else, this baby is ready to hit the track almost every time. A good oval truck or car will take care of you as long as you take care of it. And Ovalwerks is there to help take care of you, take care of it. So that's it. We will talk to you guys later. Again, shout out to all the channel members. Click that join button below. We would appreciate it. Peace.